For our next problem, what we got to do is we got to take f prime and set it equal to 0 to find our critical points. Now f prime is the same. It is the same as the previous one, except actually the f prime is not the same. The previous f is now f prime. So now we're trying to find the critical points of f if this were our derivative. So we're going to take this derivative and set it equal to 0. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the two functions that we got before from when we had the positive x plus 2 times the x minus 4, and then the negative x plus 2 x minus 4. So let's go ahead and multiply this out. We get x squared plus, actually that'd be negative 2x minus 8, and this is f prime. And then the other f prime would be negative x squared plus 2x plus 8. I know this is kind of annoying. Whenever they throw in an absolute value bars into these, it makes it a little confusing. And it's mostly because the absolute value bars, you don't know if you got a positive or negative result inside there. So we're still doing critical values the same. We have to find out where this would be equal to 0 or where it would be undefined. So if we factor this, which we already got up here, and we set that equal to 0, we get x equals negative 2 and positive 4. Over here, we would get the same thing. You would still get negative 2 and 4 if you set that equal to 0 and solve. So that means negative 2 and 4 are where your critical values are for f. And just to give this another look, I'm kind of weirded out that they put a C right here, which normally means use a calculator for that. If I looked at a calculator, those two functions are right here, the red one and the black one. You see how they cross the x-axis at negative 2 and positive 4? That's where these functions equal 0. So therefore, if these were f prime graphs, that means on f, that's where you would find your critical values, where f prime crosses the x-axis. Okay, let's find the maximum value for this function. Now this time they give us an interval. I'm going to start right off the bat reminding us that we need to test our endpoints. The other points we need to test are the critical values. Critical values is where f prime equals 0. So if we solve for f prime, we get 3x squared plus 6x minus 9. Let's see. If I can set this equal to 0 and then factor out a 3. If I divide both sides by 3, I get x squared plus 2x minus 3. This factors to be x minus 2. No. X minus 3. And then x plus 1. Nope, opposite. We'll do minus 3 and then negative 1. Yeah, that one works. So we set each of these equal to 0. That means we would get x equals negative 3 and positive 1. So now we got to test negative 3 and positive 1. I just want to double check to see what this is asking. It says the maximum value. Okay, so which of these gives us the maximum value? So whatever the y value you get here that is the max, that would be your answer. What we have to do is we have to plug these back into this function. Now if I plug 0 into it, all those x values would cancel out, and we would have negative 2. If I plug in 2 to all these, that would be 8. We'll get 8 plus, that would be 4 times 3, so that'll be 12 minus 18 minus 2, that would be minus 20, and that would be 20, so it would be 0. So far that's our maximum value. Now let's do the negative 3. If I plug in negative 3 there, I get negative 27. If I plug in negative 3 to the next one, it would be 9 times 3 would be positive 27. And if I plug in negative 3 to that one, that would be a positive 27, again, minus 2. So these cancel out. Minus 2, I get 25. All right, let's do the next one. We got 1. If I plug in 1, that would be, I got to write these down, otherwise I mess up somehow because too much mental math. I don't want to mess up on mental math while I'm trying to do calculus. Negative 11, and then this is going to be 4. So we hit negative 7. All right, so which one is our maximum value? 25. Oh, well, wait a second. Ooh, I almost fell for a trap. 25 is at -3, and -3 is not in our interval. So I should have crossed this out from the beginning because it's not even in our interval. That was a trick. This tricky problem. And see, I would have selected 25. That's lame. 0, 2, and 1 are all in my intervals, so it looks like the greatest one is 0. So I got this. I need to circle D.